bounty on my head. They want the whitest boy dead, but they all know that I got the lead. I only have one nerve left. My face is all distressed. I've been drinking whiskey.
What's up, y'all? So we're gonna critique some of the actions on the last video that I posted. The NFAC march in Louisville, Kentucky. So bear with me just a second, we'll get started here. First of all, what I want to talk about is the fact that so we get down there, they're set up in a public park. If you've never been to Baxter Park, the way it's designed and the way it's set up is there is a sidewalk around the park, kind of like a walking area or whatever, walking track or whatever. So when we got down there, there's the sidewalk. The NFAC was on the inside, the grassy area. And then you have a sidewalk, and then you have about a 6 or 8 foot area, grass area. There's trees down through there, and then you have like a ledge, and it steps down to the city of Louisville's right-of-way sidewalk. So when we first got there, I said, let's go back to the back corner of the sidewalk, or over by the trees in between those two sidewalks. That way we'll be out of the way. Now, like I said, the NFAC was out. You can see in the video, they were all out in the center grassy area and doing their thing, their formation. If you notice in the video, there's several people standing between the two sidewalks that I talk about. Again, we were out of the way. We weren't in their area. Several people standing in between the two sidewalks, the grassy area. Not a lot was being said. So we get there, I'm shooting some video and, trying to kind of checking things out. Amazed at the turnout, the amount of people they were able to bring and people that showed up from different places and stuff. It was pretty awesome. So anytime a militia comes to an area, it raises suspicion of people, and some people disagree with their beliefs. Some people disagree with the whole militia thing altogether because they don't understand the Constitution and they don't understand the meaning behind some militias. Another misconception that we find a lot is that you hear militias being referred to as white supremacist, as racist, as bigots, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I can go on and on and on, but I'm not going to dwell on it. So, again, it's all misperception. Now, are there militias out there that are part of the KKK? Yes. Are there militias out there that are made up of white supremacists? Yes. Are there militias out there that are racist? Yes. I'm not saying there's not. Never have said there's not. My point is, coming from my point of view, is that I am a firm believer in equality across the board. I don't care about the color of your skin or where you were born or what your beliefs are. As long as you don't try to push your agenda or push your beliefs on me, I could care less who you praise or who you pray to or whatever. So with that being said, let's get back to the NFAC march. So we get down there, we're standing in that area, and I notice a guy who I believed to be part of the NFAC. He was dressed in all black. He was carrying some sort of rifle. I was AK, AR variant. I don't remember what it was. We can see it here on the video. And then he had a handgun with an extended magazine shoved down the front of his pants. I believe he had an ankle holster on too, but he was wearing shorts, so it didn't really make much sense to me, but what have you. So we get down there, we're watching this, I'm observing this guy, and the other video that you can see on our web or on YouTube is that there's actual footage of two African American males and a female standing 20, 30 feet in front of us, actually on the other edge of the sidewalk in the area where the NFAC is forming and their security team is. So, you know, I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm filming or whatever. And then I noticed that gentleman come through and he was patting people down. So I kind of watched him for a minute. Of course, you know, I'm filming. He's only patting down white people. And I tell my wife, I'm like, are you seeing this? And she says, yes. And I said, well, if he comes over here, you know, he need not be touching me. I'm sorry, I don't like people touching me, so don't like patting down unless I'm going into an environment to where, you know, law enforcement's there or security personnel's there that needs to pat me down. We are in a public park. Yes, I understand that the NFAC did have permits. Yes, I did understand that it was a black event. Did I get on NFAC's website? No, because they don't have one, or if they do, it's on the dark web. You can't access it. So he's patting down white people, but he walks right past the two black guys that are clearly carrying. They're carrying openly. I do have a concealed carry permit. I do not open carry unless I'm working in a situation where I need my gun openly carried. And then I'm usually in a uniform or with duty belt on. So, with that being said, he walks right past these three gentlemen, or two gentlemen and a female, and there's another gentleman I see coming up the sidewalk. Again, black African American gentleman who has a firearm on, but it's concealed. You can see the bulging through his shirt. So. You know, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to stop him, and he walks right on past him. So anyway, moments later, as you can see on the video, he walks past and stops another white gentleman, and he pats him down. And as soon as he's done patting him down, he walks towards me. And obviously, everybody that knows me knows that I carry a gun 24/7. I don't care. I carry a gun around my house. I carry a gun at the farm. You know, wherever I'm at, I'm always carrying a gun. He makes a beeline towards me. He asks me if I'm carrying. I say yes. And then, you know, that's where the video takes off. Now, I'm not going to sit here and go through all the things that happened on the video. Obviously, you've seen it. The points that I want to talk about is that basically when I would try to ask him a question, or I would try to ask the other gentleman a question, they would cut me off, or they would refuse to answer my questions. Or they would try to spin it around and make it like I was pointing something out, or I was not talking about it. Look, again, the reason we went down there, the main reason why we went down there was because anytime, I don't care if it's white, black, Hispanic, whatever, anytime you get that many militia members in an area, it's going to be historic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter their cause or their agenda. It's going to be historic. For one, because this country frowns on militia so bad. At one point, I was approached by, and I'm going to look here because I don't want to get his name wrong. Very nice gentleman. He was, you know, he talked like he had some sense. Jeremiah Eco. You guys probably seen him. You may recognize him. You may not. He is a band or a singer from Lincoln Bridge, from here in Louisville. Awesome guys. We actually carried on a conversation, and in the video, people are saying, "Oh, you're arguing." I wasn't arguing. That's the way I talk. That's the way I debate. Me and him had a very, very nice conversation. You see, I did follow him off. I literally 3 feet, 4 feet, and stepped down. And we stood there and tried to engage in conversation again. At that point in time, we were heckled by different people. There was some ladies over there that were heckling and talking, and you couldn't hardly hear. I actually had one gentleman you see in the video. He comes up and he's like, "Would you bring your kids down here?" As a matter of fact, yes, I have. Okay, when my kids were young, they're grown now and have kids of their own. But when my kids were young, we used to go down to the west end of Louisville, and we used to walk through the parks areas. We used to walk the walking path along the bridge. There's things out there that we used to do. I'm not intimidated. I'm not scared. That's a part of town. I got friends that live in Portland. I got friends that live in the West End. I've got white friends. I've got black friends, and they live in that area. That stuff, that yes, I would bring my family down there. I had my wife with me that day. So, but going back to it, we couldn't carry on a conversation because they were heckling and people were talking, trying to overtalk us or what have you. But we both agreed. And then you seen one of the NFAC security team guys come up, and he said his little piece or whatever. We bumped fists and we went on about our way. And then I'm approached by Tara Bassett. I'm sure some of you guys know who Tara Bassett is. She's the little lady in the white t-shirt with the plate carrier over the top of her t-shirt. My next video, I'm going to discuss some things with her, or about her, that I think you guys will find interesting. So with that being said, she asked if she can, ask me a few questions. Of course, the whole time she's Facebook Live, and so obviously, I didn't have it. If I could have said no and walked away, but so anyway, I talked to her for a few minutes, and the video is kind of far away, so you couldn't hear the whole conversation. But I do have her live stream downloaded, and I will be sharing that in the other video that I was just talking about that I'm getting ready to post up here in the next few days. The conversation was fine with her as well. However, I didn't know this until several days later, but going back and watching her live stream, her and another live streamer that was there, as soon as I walked away, as soon as you hear the shot go off, but as soon as I walked away, her and this other live streamer, yeah, they were running their mouth. They were talking shit behind my back because obviously, she says in her video, in that interview, that she sat down. She sat down. Okay, well, first of all, I don't have to sit down, and neither does she. We have a constitutional right. We have a freedom to be anywhere we want to be. Okay, we have a freedom to do whatever we want to do within the compounds of the law. I was not violating any laws. I was in a public park. I was on a city right of way. I have a concealed carry permit, so I was carrying a concealed weapon. Okay, all they wanted was to know was who had guns and who didn't. That's what they wanted to know. Now look, I understand their AO. They wanted to make sure that their area of operations was secure. So they had their security team placed around the perimeter of their formation. So you weren't allowed in there. I respect that. That's why I didn't go up there. That's why I stayed back in the public right of way. I respect not being allowed up in their area because, for one, they're technically responsible for anything that happens inside their AO. So with that being said, I respect that. But because nobody would slow down, stop talking long enough for me to answer questions, they don't know that. They automatically assume you're white, you're carrying a gun, you're a militia. No, I'm not in a militia, okay? I firmly believe in the militias, just like I believed ED in the NFAC. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great. They need a new leader, but I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. If you have a issue and you want to protest and you want to march, I'm all for it, as long as it's peaceful. You want to show a force, you want to march up and down the road and carry your ARs and AKs and shotguns and 30-30s. I think we've seen some 30-30s out there. More power to you. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I think it's awesome. But because I'm a white guy and I was in an all-black place and I was carrying a gun, I'm automatically a racist. Or I'm there to cause trouble. Or I don't believe in what's going on. First of all, I believe in facts, okay? All the facts are not out on the Breonna Taylor case. Everybody knows that I support law enforcement 110%. But with that being said, I'm also going to be the first person to step up and say, if they screwed up, then they got to face the consequences. If they were wrong for doing what they did, they've got to face the consequences. So to automatically assume that one is racist or one is there just to cause problems is crazy. So going back to the whole confrontation with the person that at the time I believed was NFAC security, you see after he calls me out, he starts screaming in the video, you know, he's got a gun. This motherfucker's got a gun. If this motherfucker makes a move, shoot his ass. Okay. And then you have the guy that come up behind me who was an elderly gentleman. I didn't get any footage of him. And then he proceeds to say, if you pull it, you're going to die, or whatever he said. I don't even remember. I thought it was kind of comical. That's kind of everywhere in the United States. That's not just at this event. It's kind of anywhere in the United States. So as you hear the shot go off, and I stood there for a minute, because at first it sounded like a flashbang. So I thought, oh, somebody dropped a flashbang, something along that lines. Somebody, you know, pulled a pin on a flashbang, whatever. I mean, that's what it sounded like. It didn't sound like a shotgun blast at first, but the way they were so crowded in that formation out there in that grassy area, in I guess a basketball court or whatever that is, the sound was kind of muffled or whatever. But anyway, so I kind of stand there for a minute. Well, then NFAC security tells everybody to move, to get out of the area. For their safety, get out of the area. So then at that point in time, everybody takes off and running. I still can't figure out why they were running, because the shot was over. I guess somebody else could have started shooting, but what have you. So everybody starts to take off running. My wife had the camera at that time. She wasn't aware of what was going on exactly. So you could see in the camera, she moved pretty fast over to the other side of the street next to the firehouse. And I joined her over there a few seconds later. Once we get over there, I got people coming up to me, you know, man, we apologize, you know, that's not us, that's not the way. And you can hear some of the conversation in the video. Our main objective, again, was not to cause that controversy, but to watch history take place and observe these gentlemen doing their thing. Hence the reason why I brought a camera. So we're standing there, we're talking or whatever, and I'm not 100% sure, but we started losing cell phone service. So I don't know if somebody in the crowd had the jammer, if what the deal was, but I was on the phone with somebody and we started losing service. We stood around for a few more minutes, and then we kind of left the area and went downtown. Yes, we were downtown. No, we did not get up in the middle of the NFAC speech. Grandmaster Funky Pants, I didn't get up in the middle of his speech. I didn't interfere with their formation or anything like that. That wasn't my intentions. I stayed far enough back to where I was not going to cause a problem. And I did that out of respect and safety and security of me and my wife. So one confrontation was enough at that point in time. Pretty much the overall thing that I really wanted to address was the fact that the gentleman, and again, when I first got there, I assumed he was NFA security, making the threats, if he moves, shooting and whatever. I've been contacted and want to know if charges want to press charges. Everybody's seen it. They seen it on lives. They seen it, whatever. Been contacted by LMPD, been contacted by the prosecutor's office. I'm not that. I put myself in that situation. I'm not going to hold it against his stupidity. I'm not going to hold his stupidity against him. So, pretty much, all in all, it was a very hectic day. It was a good turnout until the negligent discharge. I was actually kind of impressed the way their security team handled themselves, the way the guys and the actual guys that were part of the NFAC, this is several weeks. We're several weeks. Today is the 23rd of August. So, August. So, I'm trying to remember I'm getting several points. Apparently, there's dissension in the ranks of NFAC, and they're split. And there's an NFA R or something like that. And so, all I can tell you is the guys that were kitted up legitimately, that weren't walking around with shorts on and a banana or extended mag and a banana mag strapped to or clamped to another banana mag. So those guys seemed like they were legit. They knew what they were doing. So all in all, it was definitely a memorable experience. By all means, I am not racist. I think you've seen in the video who the real racist is, and the way people treat you. So with that being said, I hope I brought a little light to what was going on. The whole reason why I created this YouTube channel is because, for one, Facebook censors you so much if you're not far left. We are trying to build a safer America. And like I said, I don't care what your race is, because in my heart, we are all Americans. I don't care where you were born. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care if you live in the North or the South, if you're Democrat, Republican, or whatever. As long as you can speak and hold a conscious debate without the name calling, the sneaky attacks, the automatic racism quotes, and I'm all about facts. And people, just like in the video, it's like, man, I can't believe you complied and said say her name. Like Breonna Taylor, again, I didn't know her. I can't say anything bad about her. I can just say that, yes, it is unfortunate that she died. Now, whether the police are wrong, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know who fired the shots, what was going on. There's so many rumors going around that there's no way in hell that there will ever be a fair jury trial, because it's worldwide. Y'all have tainted the jury. You have tainted every person's belief. There is no way in hell. Y'all have ruined the justice system because of the bullshit and the lies and the spread. Oh, she was asleep in her bed. No, she wasn't. And her boyfriend's testimony in his deposition proves that. So the problem with everything is you've got to let the justice system work. If it doesn't work and it fails you like it does every day, it fails people every day, then you have a problem. But if you don't allow the justice system to work, how do you know if you're going to get justice? How do you know if you're going to get what you want out of a situation? You don't. So with that being said, y'all have a blessed day, and I hope you enjoy the videos. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and leave some comments. If you don't like the content, it don't matter. The hate speech and the fat jokes and whatever, that shit don't bother me. So I'll do you one thing: save your keystrokes for somebody who gives a shit. God bless America, and y'all be safe.
There's a bounty on my